99.3 Nigeria Info, the sunny side. A very beautiful good day to you. Welcome. The sun rises here. My name's Joyce. You are listening to, of course, you know Nigeria Info, but you are on the sunny side. And we'll hold today, Monday, to be radioactive. We like Mondays, one, because we can look over disinterest in what appears to be repetitive, not so successful politics in Nigeria. And maybe just decide to whether deliberately or perfunctorily looking to what's happening in the world of politics. Look in to see where Nigeria is, looking to see what is happening, with whom is happening. The lead players, the bystanders, standards, the observers, those who make the rules, and what new rule is in the book. And of course, the Nigerian who hopes for a better Nigeria, who holds onto a dream, who believes that one day soon, maybe all of this chaos, all of this topsy-turvy would disappear, and behold a birthing of a new nation, where there is order, where there are policies that work, where the institutions are upheld, they work, where every Nigeria's dream can actually be true, can come true, giving the possibilities that abound. And so here today, we struggle with possibilities. We're really looking to bring forward possibilities. And one possibility that the Nigerian has held onto for so long would be the cost of petrol price. The cost of petrol price. In fact, many of you are of the belief that the moment the refineries in Nigeria begin to work, cost of petrol price will go down and life would take a semblance of normalcy. Cost of things would maybe, beyond just balancing, be subsidized or reduced. I think it would reduce. It would regulate, like petrol price appears to somehow inform living standard because of the dependency on petrol, how the average Nigerian is dependent on petrol. Where it comes from, how much it is, its supply, its availability. Of course, there are no alternatives, right? Good. Okay. I think the next few days we're going to be considering cost of petrol versus the political drama, the political cost. All right. Today we hope to look into the UAE denying what appears to be reports that made it to the Nigerian sphere. I wanted to have him today, but I'm going to be sharing with you an expert opinion on this now present news report that banks will be taxed 50% on FX for the year 2023. In fact, July 19th, it was reported the Nigerian government is proposing a 50% tax, windfall tax, on realized profits made by Nigerian banks for exchange transactions in the year 2023. Of course, the financial year 2023. I wanted to have Bolahon Olojede today with me on the show. He is really busy and, of course, unavailable. For that reason, we're rescheduling this conversation tomorrow. I really think we need an expert opinion. But, of course, he left me some food for thought, which, of course, in his view, holds questions which I would love to share with you at some point during the day. So our day is fully occupied. There's so much to talk about on your number one talk radio station, 99.3 Nigeria Info. So first, I think we should look at the cost of petrol versus the politics. Hasn't it been your thought? I mean, you perceive it, but you don't know it. I mean, you can't quite say you know it for sure, that there's some political drama at the foreground. You try to look to see whether you can read body language, speech, lip movement. You look to see whether there's something you can make of delays, scarcity, cost, policy, Dangote going and coming, refineries working, not working, promises of refineries to work, particularly the promises of refineries to work. We know that we have 4 major refineries. And, people have suggested that the government can invest in modular refineries. Like Nigerian... the funny thing, it appears to be normal. Well, it appears to be possible. It's normal in other places in the world. It is possible in Nigeria. But why does it appear to be difficult and objective to attain? You wouldn't know until the big boys come out in disagreement. Sometimes it's as though you sit around and wait that they really fall out, because it's when they fall out that gists begin to fly around. Otherwise, you just hold on to assumptions. You think, yeah, the government is sleeping. The government is deliberately impoverishing the people. The government is deliberately sabotaging the economy. Or you say, well, why wouldn't the government do it? They know what to do, but they're not doing it. And that's really all we have. There isn't much information you have to work with. You don't even know if you are going to hold someone responsible. Should you be holding NNPC responsible? Should you hold Dangote responsible? Should you hold shareholders? Should you hold, the political big boys? You remember the Navy a few years ago came out to tell us, oh, they are just drinking you guys. Like, all this, your crude, yeah, some invisible hands are moving it. And they had the courage to come out and report it. I remember about a few weeks ago, I read that the Navy have been recording successes with their attempt to mitigate the stealing of crude. But nobody's been prosecuted. We just hear what we hear. And then we sit back and wait for this day where a miracle will happen, where the Nigerian nightmare can be overturned, not just with what's possible, but with men who make it possible. So let's go into the news. The reason I had to recap that is because I needed to capture what appears to be your old thoughts. So let's find out if you would have new thoughts today on the sunny side. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Chief Executive, I think the weekend is one we have to be grateful for, the last weekend. The Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, Farouk Ahmed, made this known speaking to journalists. Well, he says that nobody is really up against Dangote. And then he made some revelations, which I think you should hear in his words. You should hear, because there's been promises as to when this refinery will come about. And while you wait, it's good for you to know what we can today regard as update. If the refinery is not working fully, why? So in the words of the Chief Executive Officer of NMDPRA, Farouk Ahmed, this is what he had to say.
Well, just like you rightly asked, there are a lot of concerns about supply of petroleum products nationwide, and the claims by some media houses that we're trying to scuttle Dangote refinery. That is not so. Dangote refinery is still in the pre-commissioning stage. It has not been licensed yet. We haven't licensed them yet. They are still in pre-commissioning. I think they're about 45% completion rather. So we cannot rely heavily on one refinery to feed the nation, because the Dangote is requiring that we should suspend or stop all importation of petroleum products, especially AGO and jet fuel, and direct all marketers to the refinery. That is not good for the nation in terms of energy security, and that is not good for markets because of monopoly. So in terms of quality, currently the AGO quality in terms of sulfur is the lowest as far as West African requirement of 50 ppm. Dangote refinery, as well as some modular refineries like Walter Smith's refinery, RD refinery, they produce between 650 to 1,200 ppm. So in terms of quality, their quality is much, much inferior to the imported quality.
Thank you very much.
All right. It would interest you to know that a month ago, Dangote actually accused Farouk Ahmed for issuing licenses, and those license carriers have been importing into the country dirty crude or dirty diesel and jet fuel. Now, this is according to Dangote. And I'm going to play you, of course, a more recent response from Dangote to this matter that's flying around. And all of this is to color your thinking as to what is happening and how long it's been happening. All right. But at first, let's go back to a month ago. The Vice President, Oil and Gas at Dangote Industries Limited, Mr. Edwin, accused the International Oil Companies, IOC, in Nigeria of doing everything to frustrate survival of the Dangote oil refinery and petrochemicals. He said the IOCs were deliberately and willfully frustrating the refinery's effort to buy local crude, by jerking up high petroleum prices above the market price, thereby forcing it to import crude from countries as far as the U.S. with its attendant high costs. So yes, if you heard it, Dangote is telling you firsthand that they've been forced to buy crude from overseas. Okay, so they go for Mr. Edwin goes further to lament the activities of the Nigerian midstream and downstream petroleum regulatory authority. Of course, the chairperson is Farouk Ahmed, whose voice you just heard. He says they've been granting licenses indiscriminately to marketers to import dirty, refined products into the country. The moment you pay attention, you start to see the devil in the detail. So on one hand, Dangote is telling you, well, that petrol product that's been brought into your country is dirty. It's as though the worst form of quality, like the lowest quality, is what's brought this way. If the government supports us, we can give you the best. Let's move on a little bit more. He said the federal government issued 25 licenses to build refineries, and we are the only one that delivered on promise. In effect, we deserve every support from the government. It's good to note that from the start of production, more than 3.5 billion liters, which represents 90% of our production, have been exported. Oh, hold on a second. Do you hear? Are you picking up what I may be putting down? And these are not my words. These are the words of the vice president of the Dangote Group. On one hand, Mr. Farouk is saying Dangote's quality is inferior. On the other hand, Dangote is saying we export 90% of what we refine. Hold on. Let me rephrase the last. Let me requote the last sentence. It's good to note that from the start of production, more than 3.5 billion liters, which represents 90% of our production, have been exported. Narrative versus narrative. He further, states, and I quote, "We are calling on the federal government and regulators to give us necessary support in order to create jobs and prosperity for the nation. While the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission is trying its best to allocate crude for us, the IOCs are deliberately and willfully frustrating our efforts to buy local crude." It will be recalled that the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission recently met with crude oil producers as well as refiners or refineries owned in Nigeria in a bid to ensure full adherence to domestic crude oil supply obligations, as enunciated under Section 109(2) of the Petroleum Industry Act. He says, and I quote, "It seems the IOC's objective is to ensure that our petroleum refinery fails. It's either they are deliberately asking for ridiculous or humongous premium, or they simply state that crude is not available." Let's end the quote right there. So you would say, that's the richest man in Africa. I think at this point, a great investor in the Nigerian economy. He is complaining. You can nearly begin to comprehend what foreign companies may have had to deal with. All right. This was a month ago. This was over the weekend. I want to hear, I think you should hear it because it's necessary in the reforming, reshaping, restructuring of your opinion. Or maybe it doesn't reform or reshape your opinion. What it does is underscore what you already know and highlight what appears to be the possible political drama that's playing out before all our eyes. Here is Dangote speaking on his refinery, his company's position, and the fact that the federal government has not necessarily been of much benefit to their establishment. And of course, what appears to be the projection for the company and, by extension, the vision for all Nigerians. You may not support him, but at least you must hear him. Here is Dangote.
We add value. We are not an assembly plant. When I say assembly, we are not packaging plant. If you look at all our operations as Dangote, we actually add value. We take local raw materials and turn them into products and we sell. So which means It's a circular economy which we are practicing. Everything, is here. Everything is in Nigeria. The farmers, the banks, or maybe the people in the mines, the banks, everything is about local. And it is the main reason why we were number 2 in flour milling, but we sold it because the wheat is being imported from abroad. So the more wheat we use, the more jobs we create out there. And that's why we cancel that. We remain only in sugar. Salt is not really a very big business, so that's what we have done. And now, what are we doing? What we are doing, like what our group vice president, Mr. Alake, mentioned, is that we said that, yes, we are always the first mover. We always move first, then other people will follow. And we have never, ever, whether consciously or unconsciously, stopped anybody from doing the same business that we are doing. To the contrary, when you look at it, when we first came into cement production, it was actually only Lafarge that was operating here in Nigeria, which is Iwekoro, and then the one in Ashaka in Gombe. Nobody ever called Lafarge, monopoly. But we, Dangote, the first plant we set up was 5 million tons. That was the first one, against less than 2 million of local production. But when we got in there, people now start saying, monopoly. And this is really very disheartening when people keep talking about all this monopoly. Monopoly, it is only when you stop people, you block them through legal means or whatever. No, it's a, level playing field where whatever Dangote was given, okay, in cement, for example, okay, other people too were given. In fact, some of them, maybe they even got more than us. Okay, we are always very, very careful. You heard what I said. In the refinery, we did not, and I repeat, we did not collect one single incentive from the federal government of Nigeria or from even the Lagos State of Nigeria. Yes, Lagos State, maybe they gave us a good deal, but we paid $100 million for the land. It wasn't a free land. We paid for it. Okay, so people are always looking at the other side. They are not really looking at the real picture. Okay, that's one. Number 2, this country has been having petrol queues since when majority of you here were not even born, since 1972. Okay, so 72 to date is what? 52 years. And we are still having the same issue. So just for the fact that, yes, we are ready and about to start this, everybody is now up and about. Yes, but we know that what is giving us a lot of joy is that we know that the majority of the population, they are with us. And so we are not discouraged. We'll continue what we are doing. But, doing new business, like, which we announced this still, actually our own board has decided that, no, we shouldn't do this still, because if we do it, we'll be called all sorts of names, monopoly. And then also imports will be encouraged. So we don't want to go into that. Let other Nigerians also go and do it, because we are not the only Nigerians here. There may be some Nigerians with even more cash than us. They should bring that money from Dubai, from other parts of the world, to come and invest in our own fatherland. Well, everything depends on NNPC, because the OB3 is their own gas pipeline. Majority of the gas that being produced is, it's being produced from their own facilities. Our own has not really started yet, but we are doing other, other pipelines in Bayelsa to bring, to take the gas to Otorogu to process and now inject it into the Elves. Once we do that, then it will add to the viability of our investment, and also to make sure that, yes, we have additional gas, not only for us, for the entire system. But I'm sure OB3 will address all these issues, and we'll continue to pray that the OB3 will be delivered as promised, which is end of July. Yeah, well, in terms of quality, when we started, our quality was about 600 to 650 ppm, and the 600 to 650 ppm is one of the best in terms of quality. Okay, at that time when we started. But as of today, we are 87 ppm. And I assure you, media, you can come again and take sample on Monday. By Monday, latest Tuesday, will be at 50 ppm. By beginning of August, will be at 10 ppm. So in terms of quality, we are doing very, very well. Nobody can produce anything better than us. So I just got the result from him 5 minutes ago. We are now down to even 32 ppm. And I want to plead with the regulator to come at any time, whether Sunday or Monday. We'll take the sample, and I guarantee you before he gets here, our own ppm will be even below 10. When we are coming here, His Excellency, the Speaker, said that, no, can we please wait? It wasn't planned, but he said that we should wait, since we have media with us, to pick up samples from 2 filling stations, and also when we get into our plant, they will pick up samples to check. The result has actually come out, and I'm going to share these same results with you, because they've checked. There is a total ppm was 1,890 something. I'll give you the paper, and they can also come, which was picked from their station there. The matrix also came to 2,653, and but then the flash point matrix was 61, which is below the minimum. The minimum is 66, and then also total is 26 flash point. Our own flash point is actually 96, and the records are there. If you want to do the test at any given time, you can actually run this test. We don't believe in the test of people when they bring in ships, because those tests, people write fake things, and even during COVID, people were writing fake COVID certificates. So all the results, if they want real results, they should go to SGS or Cotecna. They will give them the real certificate. But the right thing to do for Nigerians is to go to the filling station. And we want anybody to go to any filling station and buy. We'll test for you free of charge. It takes us maximum of 5 to 10 minutes. We'll give you all the parameters. And our own parameters today, we want to announce to the Nigerians, it is extremely very good parameters. We've left that 600. We are not at 600 anymore.
You want to comment about the PMS, when the PMS will be outputted?
By the grace of God, PMS was supposed to be out by this July, but we had the fire incident. Yeah. The incident that we have, actually disrupted us for a few days. But by latest 10th or 12th of August, PMS will be ready.
All right, 99.3 Nigeria Info, the sunny side. I needed you to hear that, because many times when you call the show, when we're having conversations and you're asking questions, I realize I do not have all the answers. And many times the news, investigating the news, you rarely ever find answers to the questions the Nigerians are asking. It's until when the big boys fall out that we begin to find the privilege of their falling out. 99.3 Nigeria Info. So now you can call in and let's talk about. The Nigerian is looking forward to have affordable petrol price. When that will happen remains a dream. The line for our male callers, 0201-277-0993. For females, 0201-465-7190. If you're going to be on WhatsApp, it's 080-9597-5805. My name's Joyce. Welcome to another day on radio on the sunny side. We're radioactive. This is 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk. Welcome to the show. Good afternoon to you.
Yeah, Joyce, good afternoon.
Thank you very much for calling. Tell us your name. Go ahead.
Christopher is my name.
Thank you, Chris.
Good one. I had all the explanation Dangote made. Quick one, Joyce. His cement. How much is he selling his cement outside Nigeria? Most of the materials is gotten locally here. How much is he selling it? You know, I always say one thing. This winner takes it all will not do us any good. I think he made a mistake. When I was hearing Dangote refinery, federal government give all the support. I was surprised today, especially Buhari government. I was surprised today. He said the government is not doing. He pays $100 million for Lagos State to give him a land. I was surprised I'm hearing all this. At the back of his mind, Nigerians built refineries outside this country, functioning. That is why Buhari couldn't fix our 4 refineries and build a 4 new one, he said. So how do you think those guys will allow you to fix your own here and sell it, then stop them from making that money? The other day he said, oh, there's conspiracy disease. I said, no. You didn't do your homework well. When these things were happening to Nigeria, him himself kept quiet. Why not fight for our refinery to work than to go and build your own? Those ones who build their own outside Nigeria will not allow him to work. Even the marketers, even the nuclear people, the people working at the NNPC. Just ask yourself, who bought NNPC? Why must it be that Uwando who buy? I asked that question there. He mentioned Shell, mentioned Total or whatever. We have big oil companies. But why must it be Uwando? Today you are telling us story. Winner takes it all. It's the after effect. Thank you, Joyce.
Thank you very much for calling. Lagos, we're going to quickly go off on a very short break. When we come back, this conversation continues on Nigeria Info's The Sunny Side. Don't go anywhere.
This is The Sunny Side. My name is Joyce.
Tune in to The Sunny Side with Joyce every weekday from 12 to 3 p.m.
Expect so much fun right here. 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Activate. Activate. We are radioactive on 99.3 Nigeria Info. My name is Joyce.
The moment.
Ladies and gentlemen,
boys and girls, introducing the first of its kind in Nigeria.
The first radio just for kids. It's here at 101.7 Kids FM.
Are you serious?
Oh, yes.
It's going to be fun for kids on your airwaves 24/7.
Talking about from exciting games,
check,
to juicy gist,
double check,
and great music,
super check.
All these and more on your #1 PlayStation 101.7 Kids FM.
Don't be the last to join the train. Download the Kids FM app on your iOS or Play Store today and stay tuned on the go.
You can stream on our website at kidsfm.ng.
You can also follow us on all socials at kidsfm.ng and stand a chance to be one of the super kids.
On 101.7 Kids FM. Remember, it's no dull moments on Kids FM.
So tune in and stay locked on 101.7 Kids FM.
Let's play.
The event, debate tournament, the Nationals, is coming. August 12 in Lagos. Witness the brightest minds from across the country in a battle of intellect and eloquence.
Have you ever wondered if controlling resources will be the key to dismantling?
Yes, a child has not been properly academically satisfied.
Has such person not also get experience, like a 5th point?
Experience fierce competition.
Peace cannot be kept by force. It's not because there's natural resources there.
Persuasive arguments.
I believe that through a balanced approach to religion and education.
Don't you think that such a person is old enough to decide?
And innovative thinking.
By 1985, the poverty level was below 46%.
If they don't have money for tuition, are you saying they are not going to be accountable?
Whether you're a debater or a spectator, mark your calendars for August 12, 2024. I beg to differ. The Nationals in Lagos, Nigeria. Get ready to be part of history. For sponsorship and other inquiries, call Lagos Larry Griffin 0706 827 1163. Shola Kolade 0907 173 3835 or send an email to info@nigeriainfo.fm. I beg to differ students debates competition. The Tournament of Champions.
.3 Nigeria Info, your #1 station for talk. Let's talk.
99.3 Nigeria Info. You're on the sunny side. We're back. Hello. It's good to have you on the show this afternoon. Turn up the volume of your radio set.
Good afternoon, Joyce.
Afternoon to you. Thank you very much.
My name is Indubisi calling from Ijaniki.
Thank you very much for calling.
Oga Chris, God will bless you. Oga Chris, I don't know how to take it to account. I want to send you card 1,000. God will bless you. Oga Chris, let me continue, Joyce. Joyce, I want to ask Dangote, how much is he selling cement in Ghana, Togo, Africa? My brothers are that place doing business. Dangote cement over there is 3,000 naira. When we are buying cement, here over 10,000 to 11,000. Dangote is among the people that keep Nigeria in this condition. Dangote is among the people that make us, our refinery cannot work. Yes, it's him. Dangote make everything in this country become only him. It's his father's property. Now he gets Nigeria. Dangote is among the people that give PDP money that time. 100 billion. The assets. Only Dangote cement. Only Dangote rice. Only Dangote this. Only Dangote that. Dangote cannot ask, am I the only one in this country? Fine. Everybody must collect. Everybody go collect for this country. Baba Tulumbu, continue your work. Continue your work. Everybody must touch everybody. You go touch the poor, you go touch the rich. All of us must collect one after the other. Dangote is among the people that keep Nigeria like this. So you never start to cry. You go cry, where. You go lose. You go, you never cry. You go cry, where. Okay, Chris, God Almighty bless you. Joyce, thank you. Have a nice day.
The sunny side. If you have just tuned in, welcome. We're discussing what appeared to be the playing out of a somewhat chaotic political drama between Dangote and, well, I want to say the federal government by extension. But yeah, you kind of get the point. So it's Dangote and regulators, the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority. It's one for the eyes, and on Nigeria Info, we're talking about it. My name's Joyce. We're off on a break. We'll be right back. When we return, this conversation will continue. Don't go anywhere.
On your talk station.
It's 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock.
Let the person walk, we will vote him. You see, the person doesn't have to even tell us to wait for the godfather to take him again.
You carry your file entering where? Who won't give you job?
But, I mean, some people have succeeded. Unfortunately.
Joyce, let's not lie.
No.
It's 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk. The news update on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
99.3 Nigeria Info. You are listening to the news update this hour. The Nigeria Labour Congress says apart from the over 100% cash increase of the minimum wage from 30,000 naira to 70,000 naira, there are also some non-cash incentives provided by the president during the final negotiations last week. Head of Information NLC, Comrade Benson Upas, said this, outlining the non-cash incentives, and said that the negotiations were not based only on increased minimum wage, but also on creating an avenue for businesses to thrive, development of infrastructure, education, health, and other social services. He was speaking on Nigeria Info's Morning Crossfire. Speaking further, Upa said Labour's demand for reversal of subsidy removal and electricity tariff hike was not dead, adding that the NLC was working in the interest of both the public and private sector workers. The federal government will, in the next 90 days, spend an average of 36 billion naira to convert 30,000 petrol or diesel-powered vehicles to start running on compressed natural gas. The government said it had acquired 30,000 CNG conversion kits for distribution free of charge nationwide within the period. The kits and the conversion costs were valued at the rate of 1.2 million naira per vehicle, making a total of 36 billion naira within the next 3 months. The move is to ensure the adoption of CNG as an alternative fuel for transportation. The project director and chief executive officer of the Presidential Compressed Natural Gas Initiative, Michael Oluwagbemi, said this at the Park to Park CNG mobilization program that took place here in Lagos. President Bola Tinubu says ECOWAS now has a standby force to counter terrorism. The president said this in Accra, Ghana, while addressing African leaders at the 6th mid-year coordination meeting of the African Union. He said consultations are ongoing to revise the ECOWAS 2001 Supplementary Protocol on Democracy and Good Governance. On economic integration, President Tinubu said ECOWAS had implemented activities to consolidate a free trade area, customs union, and common market. And the Nigerians in Diaspora Commission has rescued 58 Nigerian women and children from human traffickers in Ghana The chairman of the Nigerians in the Diaspora Commission, Abike Dabiri Erewa, made this known when she visited the trafficked victims at their location in Accra. The rescued victims comprised 47 Nigerians of Kano State's origin, 5 from Katsina State, 2 from Jigawa State, and 4 from Kaduna. The latest rescue comes a month after the Nigerian government rescued at least 10 Nigerian teenage girls aged between 15 and 16 from human trafficking and prostitution. The victims were said to have been lured to Ghana with promises of a better life, but were instead forced into prostitution. That's the news update, Lagos. You're listening to The Sunny Side with Joyce on 99.3 Nigeria Info. I am Yvonne Ohaifo.
Quality talk.
Intelligent conversations.
Always interesting.
So engaging.
Sometimes even mind-boggling.
Nigeria Info. Ask everyone. Anyone.
Welcome. 99.3 Nigeria Info, the Sunny Side. It's 3 minutes past 1 p.m. It's so good to have you join the conversation. And it's a moving story. One wonders, where is Nigeria as far as her dream to access of cheaper petrol in this country? And you have waited so long. Unfortunately, I do not have answers to your questions. I do not necessarily bring you good tidings, but I bring you a political drama between the upstream, downstream authority and Dangote, who appears to be a heavy investor in the Nigerian economy. I would say maybe one of the heaviest investors in the Nigerian economy. He is complaining. So while you complain about bread, butter, and milk, Dangote complains about how his business may soon be, well, he doesn't necessarily foretell the future, but he suggests that there are deliberate efforts trying to stifle his growth, which by extension would affect all Nigerians. So on the Sunny Side, we're talking about this today. Welcome. It's so good to have you join the conversation. My name is Joyce. Turn up the volume of your radio set. And thank you very much for calling.
Yes, good afternoon.
Thank you very much for calling. Good afternoon to you.
Yes, my name is Emmanuel. I'm calling you from Chevron.
Great to have you, Emmanuel.
You see, anything that will make this country stand, the politicians are ready to bring that thing down to his name. You can now see that it's a deliberate act that our refineries must not work. Selfishly. It's a deliberate act that Dangote refinery will also not work. Selfishly. So there are powers to be that want to keep these people and the country down. What are these powers to be? How many are there? How many are we? You see, everything boils down to we, the citizens, must wake up. We have been sleeping too long. We must wake up. How many people must die? Even if everybody should die for the new generations to have liberation, let's wake up. This thing that Dangote is crying, he's just playing. He has been enjoying this thing for long, for as God knows. PDP gave him this opportunity. Maybe the APC is coming to take the opportunity away from him. Who knows? But it is all around the powers that must not let us breathe. The same people holding down Dangote refinery are the same people holding down electricity. How do we figure this out? These are unseen. I want to call them spirits living in the being. These are people that are existing within us. The only way for us to counter these people is for us to wake up violently. Peaceful violence, I don't know how to call that word, but when people can wake up without breaking down laws, let's wake up to the streets. All these people will reshape itself. What exactly is happening in Nairobi, Kenya? It can also happen here for changes to come. I don't know how to preach this thing again. God will never, in His mercy, come down to help Nigeria. God is busy listening to radio of other countries, not radio of Nigeria. We are calling God. Which God? Which God will come and help us if not for we to help ourselves? Which Bible have we not read? Which church have we not built? We have the highest church in the world. Still, we are waiting for God to come and help us. God will not come from anywhere. If you cannot, because of your children that you have, come out to the street for this protest, because of the few days or few months you have to live on earth, we are not living. We are surviving.
If you are foolishly sitting down anywhere and thinking you are living, you are surviving because your next meal is not guaranteed. A cup of this now is 2,000. Jerrycan of this is 2,700 or 800. But in the next 3 months, it will get to 5,000 naira. Will you be able to buy it? Why not wake up and come out for this protest? Why not wake up? Nigerians, move over to Joyce. I feel like to tear myself and just stand on the main road and start telling people are foolishly sleeping. Joyce. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much for calling. I appreciate you. On the sunny side, we're Nigeria Info. My name's Joyce. Good to have you join the conversation. Thank you very much for calling. Good afternoon.
My name is Samuel.
Welcome, Sam. Go ahead.
Yeah, I called you sometimes earlier talking about what happened to me during the last protest, that Nigerians are so docile and timid, that I told you I was blaming it on my mom. Look at what is happening now. Dangote is now complaining. Dangote that has enjoyed monopoly from the Nigerian government. I grew up seeing Elephant Cement. Today, Elephant Cement is nowhere to be found. Dangote's products are all over the market. Dangote now enjoyed the same monopoly with his former brother, Buhari. Buhari gave him everything he wanted, forgetting that Buhari's tenure will come to an end. Now, Tinubu entered. He's not enjoying the same, what do they call it? What's the same incentives? Now, he's out here complaining. If he's complaining, what does he want us to do? So they are just funny. We can see what is happening in this country. So now that in the previous years, he was enjoying. They were doing these things in secret. Nigerians never knew about it. Now that they've now had disagreements, they are coming out to tell us this. So what do they want us to do about it? So these people they are wicked, self-centered. Like the previous caller said, Nigerians are so docile. We will not protest. Me, I've vowed that I will never come out to protest in Nigeria. I will never. Since what I went through during the EndSARS era, I will never come out. They said Tinubu was a master strategist. They said he built Lagos. He will build Nigeria that way. We are there together. We are there. I want to see the end of it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for calling. So by way of information, there's something in the air that I want you to catch, and then we're right back to the conversation on Nigeria Info.
This thing in the air happens to be Spell Africa International. Yes, they are presenting the Leaders Competition 2024, the 15th edition of the National Grand Finale, featuring qualifiers across the states in Nigeria. It will be happening from the 25th to the 27th of July 2024. The venue is the chosen international school, Lekki, Lagos. Now, the prizes to be won are divided into two categories. There's a primary category and the secondary category. Now, keep your ears open. Now, in the secondary category, the first prize is 500,000 naira. The second prize is 300,000 naira. And the third prize is 200,000 naira. Of course, in the primary category, the first prize is 400,000 naira. The second prize, 250,000 naira. And the third prize, 150,000 naira. I know you are excited as a child, as a parent. So call for more details. Call the number 0907 002 7521. That is 0907 002 7521. You could also call 0813 111 6589. I'll take that again, 0813 111 6589. We'll be hoping to see you there from the 25th to the 27th of July 2024. The venue remains Chosen International School, Lekki, Lagos.
Activate. We are radio active on 99.3 Nigeria Info. My name is Joyce.
Yes, kids, Peter Rufai's summer camp is back. Yes, it is back. It was here before and it's back again. The 8th season, dated 2024. Long holidays are over and you definitely want to get your kids out of the house. You don't want them keeping all that bumptious energy inside of the house. Things could get, spoiled if you understand what I'm talking about. Now, Peter Rufai's summer camp is back. It is bigger. It is better and better loaded with sports like football and basketball. It doesn't end there. There are other sports, but you have to come to find out. You see, your preferred summer program promises to be unforgettable, enriching in experience, as well as inspirational, exciting, and filled with possibilities for you and your children especially, because they are the ones we are doing this for in the end. Now register today and enjoy the drills, skills, and thrills with true legends of the game. I'm talking about Dodo Mayana himself. Peter Rufai is going to be there. He's not going to be alone. He's going to be working with other experienced coaches. Parents, of course, are not left out, but you're not the reason we are doing this, of course. Now remember, it's going to be happening on the 22nd of July to the 3rd of August at the City Pride School in Amuwo, and of course at the Mind Builder School Omoli Phase 2 Isheri, Lagos. Now registration is open to boys and girls between the ages of 3 and 17, so pretty much covered across a very, very wide spectrum. Now for inquiries or sponsorship, you can contact the number 0811 230 1652. That is 0811 230 1652, or you could also call 0810 058 0744. That is 0810 058 0744. Or you could write to the email address starroofofficial@gmail.com. Starroof is spelled STARUFFICIAL @gmail.com. This, the Peter Rufai Sports Summer Camp, is powered by Star Roof Sports Development and supported by Cool FM, Nigeria Info, and Wazobia FM. Your child's well-being and safety is our utmost priority. Peter Rufai Summer Camp, bringing the best in your kids to the fore and rekindling their innate passions.
99.3 Nigeria Info, the sunny side. The conversation continues.
The Sunny Side with Joyce.
We're talking. It's so good to have you join the conversation this very beautiful afternoon. If you're on Skype, I'm saying hello to you. Welcome. Thanks for calling in.
Yeah. Good morning, Joyce.
Oh,
good morning. I'm calling from Dallas, Texas.
Thank you very much for calling.
Joyce, the Nigerian situation is so funny that when things like this are happening, Nigerians don't know actually how to address this issue. When issues like this are happening, we keep attacking each other. Dangote is an individual, just like every Nigerian. People are saying, how much does he sell cement? I think the first two callers are making a big mistake. This is the time for us to face the government. Are you encouraging Nigerians to invest into the Nigerian economy, even when the richest man is facing this kind of a problem? That's the problem. I have friends that are selling their houses in Nigeria and bringing their money back into the American economy. You understand? How do you break monopoly? The best way for you to break monopoly is for you to encourage, encourage equal players to come into the market. That's the best way. It's not about we attacking Nigerians. Attacking each other. That's what I mean. So we attacking Dangote is not the best thing at this point. The best thing is for us to attack the powers that be from stopping this man from getting crude oil. If we don't have any functioning refinery in Nigeria and this man built a refinery, the best way to break down monopoly is by bringing other players into this market for us to have more refineries. Thereby the prices can come down instead of we attacking Dangote. So the main problem is the government and the cabal and the people that are sitting in the highest hand. That's what I have to say, Joyce.
What's your name? What's your name?
My name is Femi.
Femi.
My name is Femi.
Thank you, Femi, for calling. Really, I totally appreciate. Thank you again. 99.3 Nigeria Info, the sunny side. For those of you who say that Dangote is a monopolist, as he's heard it, and he says it's a very sad realization to be tagged a monopolist, and he has made a response to that. And I'm going to try to quote him verbatim: "Buy me out. Dangote offers to sell the refinery to NNPC." And let's quote him a little bit. Speaking exclusively to Premium Times, on Sunday he expressed his willingness to sell the refinery to address allegations of monopoly in the industry. According to him, and I quote, "Let them, the NNPCL, buy me out and run the refinery the best way they can. They have labeled me a monopolist. That's an incorrect and unfair allegation, but it's okay. If they buy me out, at least their so-called monopolist would be out of the way." If we end the quote there, and I'm really, really curious to find out what you have to say. So this is such a crazy political drama. You are left with wondering if Dangote is complaining. When do you get fuel? Remember, the statement "subsidy is gone" has consequences, and we are yet to fully grapple with the extent to which that singular statement would affect all of Nigerians, the rich and the poor. We're talking you on the sunny side. My name's Joyce. It's good to have you join the conversation. Thank you very much for calling.
Joyce, good afternoon.
Thank you very much for calling. You tell us your name. Go ahead.
My name is Altine. See, this Dangote thing, you see, like the like what about all the fighting I've listened to everyone and one of these in his products, noodles, cement. Like Mr. Chris asked, how much do they sell cement outside Nigeria? Is it the same? Now, because he's having issues with petroleum, we are all hearing it now. Let him know that what goes around comes around. He can't continue to have it all. He
Thank you.
cannot.
Okay.
He is holding us to ransom. He cannot continue to have it all. So the time has come now. And so everybody is hearing it. So let him
Yeah,
know
but
that
beyond
what goes
hearing
around
it, have you thought about what the consequence is eventually? Because he raised the issue of.
I agree. A lot of us are going. In fact, we have been suffering now. Before this petroleum matter came into being, Joyce, we have been suffering in Nigeria now. We have been going through. We have because we are a very resilient set of people. That is why we are going through what we are going through. We have been suffering even before this issue came up now.
All right. Thank you very much for calling. I do appreciate it. The sunny side is good to have you join the conversation. Hello.
Hello.
Thank you very much for calling. Good afternoon to you. We're Nigeria Info.
Good afternoon, Madam Joyce.
Tell us your name.
I don't know who did us this. How can Nigerians will stand up boldly and attack Dangote, who is able to accomplish what the whole country, the government cannot accomplish? And this Dangote business will favor the masses. Instead of we to attack our enemies, our common enemies, they are attacking Dangote. Nigerians, wake up. Know who is your common enemy and face those people. Please, they should leave Dangote alone. Whether he's selling his cement 1 naira outside and selling it to 20,000 here, it doesn't matter. It's not our problem. Let us fight our common enemies. They are the people who are frustrating this man's effort. In extension, expanding our suffering. Bye-bye, my sister.
You didn't tell us your name, please.
Lovette. I am Lovette.
Thank you very much for calling. We're 99.3 Nigeria Info. It's also worth stating, a month ago, Dangote also accuses the IOCs of plotting the failure of his refinery, and he gives you an actual attempt to frustrate his company. And I quote, "At some point, we paid $6 over the above market price. This has forced us to reduce our output as well as import crude from countries as far as the U.S., increasing our cost of production." And so, of course, if you know anything about basic economics, if the cost of production goes up, the price of things would go up. Now, that's Dangote. But, of course, the authority for midstream and downstream and upstream is saying that Dangote's quality is inferior. Dangote is challenging us to come test the quality of his output and determine whether indeed he's inferior. He states categorically and plainly, putting us all to the test to come check his quality. He boasts that his quality is just about the best, better than that which comes into the country. He states a month ago that what comes into the country is dirty crude. Wow. We have only come to the knowledge of the political drama that's playing out in the Nigerian sphere. On Nigeria Info, we're talking about it. The sunny side, I want to know your reaction and hear it. Hello.
Joyce, good afternoon.
Thank you very much for calling. We're Nigeria
This is my name. I'm calling from Ajawa.
Thank you very much for calling.
Thank you. Joyce, there is a book I read, I think about 11 years ago, Conspiracy of the Rich. And after I read that book, I look at the settings of Nigeria, I come to realize that where that is implementing to the later is here in Nigeria. Conspiracy of the rich. And funny enough, Nigerian people never know there is a conspiracy against them, and they are docile about it. I have said it on different platforms of how this thing is worked. They will manipulate the mindset of the people, pit them against each other, then continue to enslave them to the core, enslave their mindset, enslave every down thing about them. They will be busy fighting themselves. Why the people who have conspired against them is busy making so much fortune out of them. Look at what is happening. Dangote is the richest man in Africa, and he's crying out. And instead of Nigeria, the poor masses, average businessmen, the poorest of the poor who are listening, that should rally around and salvage their country, they are attacking a richest man who is telling you that things are not okay. They have conspired against you. That is what he's telling you indirectly. Funny enough, we are here attacking Dangote and keep telling us each other that Dangote have been monopolizing business all this while, that he should suffer what other Nigerians are suffering. But the last time I checked, Dangote never bullied anybody out of business. He never outsmarted anybody in business. He left it open. If he wants to participate, go into the field. But right now, the cabal have...
I hate to interrupt your speech, please. I'm actually off on a break. If you would hold on, that would be great.
Maybe I'll call back.
I'll appreciate.
Okay, if it's not a long break, because I need to talk to the...
Okay, good then. So give us a minute, all right?
All right.
Big tournament, the Nationals, is coming. August 12th in Lagos. Witness the brightest minds from across the country in a battle of intellect and eloquence.
Have you ever wondered if controlling resources will be the key to dismantling?
Yes, a child that's not being properly academically satisfied.
Has such person not also get experience, like your 5th point?
Experience fierce competition.
Peace cannot be kept by force.
It's not because there's natural resources there.
Persuasive arguments.
I believe that through a balanced approach to religion and education.
Don't you think that such a person is old enough to decide?
And innovative thinking.
By 1985, the poverty level was below 46%.
If they don't have money for tuition, are you saying they are not going to be accountable?
Whether you're a debater or a spectator, mark your calendars for August 12, 2024. I beg to differ. The Nationals in Lagos, Nigeria. Get ready to be part of history. For sponsorship and other inquiries, call Lagos Larry Griffin 0706 827 1163, Shola Kolade 0907 173 3835, or send an email to info@nigeriainfo.fm. I beg to differ students debates competition, the tournament of champions.
.3 Nigeria Info.
Your number one station for talk. Let's talk.
Activate. Activate. We are radioactive on 99.3 Nigeria Info. My name is Joyce.
We're back, the sunny side. Thank you so much. Yes, I'm with you, my brother.
Yes, Joyce, let me round off.
Please.
Now, Nigerians, they have conspired against your education. If you don't know it today, there is no public institution that is working. What is functioning right now in Nigeria is private-owned schools, which is owned directly or indirectly by those power that be. They have conspired against your petroleum. You can see it. They tell you that they prefer to import it instead of your refinery working. They have conspired against your aviation. Can you see Nigeria Airways? But they have their private ones working. You must patronize them. They have conspired against your hospital. There is no general hospital that is functioning at ultimate capacity, but they have private ones working. You must patronize them. It's owned by them, directly or indirectly. So right now, instead of you to fight and take your country back, so that you can have a meaningful future. All of you are here fighting a man that is fighting for you. Let me ask Nigerians, when last did somebody graduate and become a staff of any bank? What we have is contract staff, which you are pay can never take you home, can never sustain you. And all of you are here accusing a man that is fighting for you. Nigerians, continue. You, by the end of the day, you will see what you have done to yourself, that they have conspired against you and you are busy fighting each other. Nice one, Joyce. Thank you.
Thank you very much for calling. You're on the sunny side. My name's Joyce. It's so good to have you join the conversation. Hello. Make it back. Nigeria Info. My name's Joyce. What's your name?
Hello.
You're on the sunny side. It's good to have you. Thank you very much for calling.
Okay, my name is Joshua.
Welcome, Joshua.
Yeah, I think this Dangote issue, the only thing we know how to do best in this country is to lie.
To lie?
Yes, Dangote is not telling Nigerians the truth.
Oh, okay.
Because I could remember that even that project Dangote is talking about, Central Bank, I think they pumped about 100 billion naira to that project. They also subsidize dollar to the cheaper rate, where Dangote can access it more than any other Nigeria. So if Dangote should tell us that that Nigeria did not, in fact, they didn't support him in the way he wanted them to support him, I think he's lying. He's not telling us the truth.
Well, he kind of stated passively in the audio that I played that he got some benefits, but nothing really remarkable. That's what he's saying.
What's the meaning of that?
Well, I cannot quite answer the details of the matter. So at this point, do you think Dangote is one of many complaining and he should just go sit down and lick his wounds?
I think he should just let us be. Yeah, all the same.
So when you say let us be, what is the consequence of that statement? Is it that you're going to get petrol cheaper tomorrow, or just endure regardless of whatever happens tomorrow?
We are already on it now. We are facing it.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much for calling. 99.3 Nigeria Info, you on the sunny side. Hello.
Yeah, hello. Good afternoon.
Afternoon to you.
Michael.
Welcome, Mike.
Yeah.
You're on Nigeria
Yeah,
Info.
I'm calling. Okay. So
you're calling from where? You were about to tell me where you're calling from.
Yeah, I'm actually on the road.
Okay, good then.
Somewhere at Osborne Road.
Okay, good.
Traffic is terrible. So I want to align my thoughts with the lady, Lovetta, if I could remember her name, that talks about we trying to see the bigger picture. Because I understand that there is a lot of sentiment whenever Dangote name is mentioned because of all the businesses he has standing, and a lot of people actually believe that he is part of the government is actually helping him out. But one thing we are forgetting is that we have a refinery that if it is working, it's going to massively help Nigeria to recover from whatever we are going through now. If you look at the price of fuel, how there is a chain reaction on the price of fuel, how it affects literally everything in the market, you will know that it's the best interest of Nigeria to get that refinery to work. Now, why am I saying this? If you go back to all the promises that were made by the government, how they have been telling us that this refinery should be able to solve our fuel problem. And the same set of people are also not giving him that free hand to operate, provide him with crude oil, and allow him to operate his refinery. If you look at what we are going to benefit from it, working, we should not be the one fighting him. We should focus on who are the people that are not making this refinery work. I believe that the same people that have kept the other refineries from working. If this refinery is working, Nigerians are going to be the one that will benefit from it. Me and you are going to benefit from it. Let's forget about wherever it is that he's doing, selling cement, how much. Please, what is the cost of production of cement in Nigeria and in Ghana? What is the cost of electricity? Do you know how much we buy electricity here in Mbante or what? You have to check these indices before you come and say that he's overselling in Nigeria and compare what he's selling over there. What is the business climate condition over there and here? You have to also put these things into consideration.
All right.
So it is in our best interest that refinery works, because if it works, we are all going to enjoy it. We, at least if we can stop, just look at this singular thing. You know, the forex, the amount of forex we are spending in going to import fuel. If we stop that and we have enough forex, don't you think that the price of dollar will come down?
Right.
And everything here, even the market woman that's selling Gary will tell you that the price of dollar is high. Because I understand that you don't need dollar to produce Gary. But at the end of the day, she's going to go and buy other things that is dependent on dollar. And what thing she will do? Of course, she will increase her price.
Thank you.
So that is what Nigerians are just, we're just beating around the bush. It really baffles me when I hear people making all this kind of, let him suffer it, he will go collect. Oh my God. Where is our humanity, for crying out loud? This man invested his money in Nigeria. There's a lot of Nigerians who have taken money away and they have run out to build refineries in other countries of the world. There are some people that have big hospitals in South Africa and other places. How many of them brought their money to come and invest in Nigeria here? I don't think I know anyone. We don't have good amenities here, but we can go over there in other countries and spend our money there. Look at the way Nigerians are leaving this country in drones. Why can't we just come together and look for something that can work and support it? Me, I am in for Dangote refinery to work, because I believe it. If it works, we are all going to benefit it. How can you be buying fuel? How much are they selling fuel? Okay, for those of us in Lagos that are still buying 600 and something, go outside Lagos and see the cost of fuel outside there. But if everybody is buying from Dangote, and I believe that the price of fuel will come down and everything will gradually start coming down.
Thank you. I appreciate 99.3 Nigeria Info. You're listening to Nigeria Info this afternoon, and we're discussing your chances, the possibility that you, a Nigerian, would buy fuel at a cheaper price than you do today. And here we have the privilege of two big elephants fighting, and here we're trying to make sense of the reason they are fighting and what they say as they tussle back and forth. Now, some of you say you don't support Dangote, and I think it's necessary that you hear his side of the argument in comparison to what the authority upstream, midstream, downstream has to say. Dangote, for example, says his quality is great. In fact, he boasts of the superiority of his quality. Now, the authority, on the other hand, suggests that, no, his quality is not so good. And then Dangote throws an open challenge that any Nigerian can come test for quality. So that's one. Two, he suggests that they're trying to stifle him in order to drive up his cost of production, which informs the price and maybe makes it impossible for him to fully produce at the capacity which he is capable of, which makes you a beneficiary if he succeeds. But then again, that particular reference, according to the authority, is denied. And so once again, Nigerians must decide where they lie and choose a side, because as a Nigerian, this is one of them type moments where you have to choose where you stand. The Sunny Side, Nigeria Info.
Hello, Joyce. Good afternoon.
Afternoon to you. Thank you very much for calling.
My name is Onyemuwa. I'm calling from Aja.
Thank you very much for calling.
I wish I can speak softly. How can I, Onyemuwa, join the country with people that are speaking for Dangote? Dangote was building the refineries during the time of Buhari, and now there is a governors or president or government that do not know Joseph anymore. There was a time Joseph was expanding in Egypt, but a pharaoh came that doesn't know him and his generation. So you people are now speaking for Dangote. This is what really happened. All the oil companies are owned by Dangote tribes, and these tribes are the ones that control the international oil company. Now they have now discovered that once they allow Dangote to operate their refineries, all their monopolies, all their subsidy they are eating will come to an end. Then Dangote will not be the richest in the world. Now Dangote can start the refineries and selling fuel for us 400, 500. We'll be smiling, hey, Dangote na if your guy. After just 6-7 months, we will now buy the same fuel 1,800, 2,000 because the monopoly will now shift to the oil. You Nigeria, you are speaking for Dangote. Eh? You Nigeria, when I build this my house, how much did I buy cement that is not Dangote? 1,600 naira just 5 years ago. So how many people now can now build house today? I work with construction industry. We cannot work anymore. When the price of I want to cool down talking. When the price of cement moved to 8,000, there was other cement factory. I don't know the name again because Dangote did not allow that company to popular. Want to bring the price down. They had meeting with Dangote. The next thing Dangote did was to increase the salary of his staff and hijack the price of cement. What are you guys talking about? That Dangote is not the problem. It's not the part of the cabas. What is it that Dangote is doing that is pocket friendly? A government come that does not like or that don't want the monopoly of Dangote. And if Dangote is shouting or screaming now, he's screaming to his own tribe. How many Igbos, how many South, how many Yorubas are control the oil? So you Nigeria, you are now speaking for Dangote.
Let me ask you, and this is just by way of trying to understand whether you have considered the other side. If you say that you're not in support of Dangote, given every sensible argument he has brought forward against what the authorities are stating, you say you support the government. Can you truly say that you trust the activities of the government to favor you? By the way, has the government given you any refinery that is in competition with the Dangote refinery? If you say Dangote should suffer what he is suffering, what options do you have?
God bless you. I always wait to hear from you. One, I didn't support government because they are foul with their blood that Nigeria will not have peace. One, they are still living in Nigeria. I didn't support Nigeria or Dangote. What I want now, if youth can contribute money together and buy that Dangote refinery and tell the government we need our own crude oil. How will you not be selling your crude oil to international?
Yeah, but you're dreaming. You're actually in La La Land because you're saying the youths should contribute. You can barely feed.
Okay.
People,
can I give
your minimum wage is barely 70,000. Have you put 70K and gone out? Have you greeted two people before with 100K in your pocket?
Okay, can I bring another option?
What option?
Can we, for once, say we are not protesting by going to the street, but we not buy that for again for 1 month? Can we just do something? Both government and the Dangote, they are the same. Okay. Can we just leave this oil for 1 month? We are not protesting because...
I may have lost you. Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, please finalize your thought.
I heard an information that even the Air Force on red alert on another country or the citizen. Can we say, okay, we are not protesting outside because they may kill us, but we not buy that. Yeah, that offend our problem. We will not buy it for 1 month. Can we do it? Can we do it when we call support Dangote? When we call don't support?
Thank you very much for calling. I appreciate Nigeria Info. This shouldn't be this hard, but evidently it is. It is slicing through public opinion like a hot butter through knife. One would be surprised. The sunny side. Good to have you here. Thank you very much for calling. You can hear us? Nigeria Info. My name's Joyce. What's your name? If you can hear us.
I can hear you. Good afternoon, Joyce.
Afternoon to you. Thank you very much for calling. You tell us your name. You go ahead real quick.
My name is Robert Omoviru. I'm calling from Ojo area in Lagos. Yes.
Welcome, Rob.
Yes. Please, I don't know why this thing is coming up now. Most of us, the man is a businessman. You see, he came out that he want to do a refinery. He paid licenses here and there. The government approved the licenses that he used to build the refinery. Why now? Why now? When the man has gone to the 11th hour, why now? They should give the man, let him buy the diesel, the crude oil, and refine this thing. Let us imagine this thing properly. If you have a product, you leave your product that you are producing. Okay, let's assume you are producing, you have cassava. The cassava, you can get gari inside, you can get fufu inside, then you now go to buy fufu from somebody. When you have the cassava here, The money for transport, hotel, fuel, tank farm, and all those things. Those are the things we are paying for that are making the fuel very high. This man will cut off all those things. If you allow him, give him crude oil, you don't need to pay transport. You don't need to go and stay in a hotel. You don't need to pay. You don't need to go to a tank farm. The man has all those things in his intake. So why are we doing this thing? Why? Because some people are collaborating to frustrate the man, because once he comes in, those people who are importing fuel, importing water to us, the fuel now you cannot use for 2 minutes. It's gone. Those people will continue to make us dry. They should regulate this man. Is it not government? Regulate him. That's what should be done.
Thank you.
Please.
Very much for calling. I appreciate it.
Thank you. God bless you.
Nigeria Info. Here is John from Mushane. NNPC signed a JV deal with Oando in 2019. That deal was rumored to allow Oando to have largest stake in NNPC, although the company retains the NNPC name. The CEO of Oando is Wale Tinubu. That's Tinubu's nephew. Now NNPC Oando, with that JV, became the largest downstream company in sub-Saharan Africa. Imagine if, like Dangote said, NNPC buys out Dangote refinery. NNPC will become the largest refinery in sub-Saharan Africa. Who does that benefit most? Who does that benefit most based on that JV deal? Question mark. Nigeria can only grow fast with national scale entrepreneurship. Government with policies, cabal and oppression to kill entrepreneurs so they are not financially bigger than politicians in the government. Thank you very much for calling. I do appreciate. Anderson from VGC. Here is my piece of advice to Dangote. Instead of crying, I suggest he uses his wealth and influence to support the forthcoming protest, starting from his northern people. If he decides to sit back and only lament about the predicament of his business, the worst may eventually occur. Thank you. Our common enemy is the government and not Dangote in a capitalist economy. It's survival of the fittest. There is not like monopoly. The sunny side, Nigeria Info. I'm going back to the telephone lines. Hello, good to have you here. Turn up the volume of your radio set.
Hello, Joyce. Good afternoon.
Thank you very much for calling. Good afternoon to you. Can you hear me? I'll suppose no. Hello, the sunny side, Nigeria Info. If you're here, we're here.
Hello, good afternoon, George.
Thank you very much for calling. You tell us your name, you go ahead.
Peter on the line, calling from Mowe.
Great.
It's quite pathetic that Nigerians are not reasoning.
Okay.
You are attacking Dangote over a statement of fact that this man has said. Now, one thing is this. At some point, Dangote told us that a business partner in Saudi Arabia told him not to invest this same facility in Nigeria, that he's going to be frustrated out of the business. And this thing is playing out exactly the way this man has said. Now, this brings me to the point of notice that the international world can easily predict what happens in Nigeria. Now, you're calling Dangote a monopolist, but these same politicians that have kept themselves recycling power since 1960 till now, they are not monopolists. And you Nigerians, like you and I, we can stand up against these people that keep recycling power, monopolizing this same power. We can stand up against them. And you are saying Dangote is a monopoly. Who put food on your table and make things easy for you? Imagine Nigeria without Dangote today. Your economy will be flooded with foreign products. And they are taking your money out on daily basis. And this man came into the oil sector to make sure Nigerian money remain in Nigeria, and you are calling him a monopoly. Your cement is still there. Other cement industries are not cool. They sold their right to him. It's not his fault. This is a businessman, for God's sake. Nigerians, wake up from this slumber. Wake up from this. Who has done this to us? With all the information that Nigeria is selling to us, we refuse to learn. Listen to half part. Listening to you sometimes, I feel like as if I'm in the university on a different level. These men are encouraging us. Let's leave Dangote alone. Nigeria rise up to face the reality. Let us rise up to face the reality that these politicians, they don't want anything good for us as a country.
Thank you very much for calling. Really, I appreciate. You're listening to Nigeria Info. You're on the sunny side. My name is Joyce, and I'm here to collect your views on what appears to be maybe the most scintillating political drama playing right now in Nigeria. The sunny side. Are you there? Hello? Sorry, I lost you. If you can make it back, that would be great. Nigeria Info, the sunny side. It's good to have you join the conversation.
Good afternoon, ladies.
Afternoon. Thank you very much for calling. You tell us your name. You go ahead.
This is Jaboli calling from Ikorodu.
Great.
So I've had a lot of back and forth this afternoon. And the question you posited to us this afternoon, you said, what exactly do we think is happening with the clash of titans presently? Fine. Everybody is saying, or most people are saying, Dangote is a monopolist. Dangote is this. Dangote is that. Can we just take Dangote out of the equation for once and just see how this affects us, the masses? Okay, you don't have to throw the baby with the bathwater. When two elephants fight, the grass suffers. We are the grass suffering. This sabotage is trying, is enabling, because they've poured sand on the floor and they want us to all roll over it. Dangote is everything you want us to know he is. Okay, fine. He's egoistic. He's egocentric. He's monopolistic. Fine. But please, who is suffering it? Dangote won't suffer the fuel issue. The politicians and the airlines or the cabals won't suffer it as well. We, the masses, we've been suffering it. We'll continually suffer it. Can we just look through our nose? Look beyond our nostrils and say what exactly obtains here? This sabotage, who is going to benefit most? They. Who will suffer most? We. We are on the receiving end. What you ask is a simple question. I don't care what Dangote is. Dangote is many things. He's a businessman. He's everything. Fine, he has invested. He wants dividends. He wants it to come by all means. I agree it is wrong. But please, let's just call together, come together and just ask ourselves, when this thing like this happens, who is at the receiving end? We, the masses. So what do? Let's speak up against the powers that be, the powers that have gathered against this refinery. What happened to our own refineries? Let's just remove Dangote from the equation. How come our own refineries all over, it's not working? These same people. And these same people also decided to pour grease on the floor for us to roll over it. And we can't even look past our nose. We can't look past our noses and say, okay, let's just decipher what these people are trying to do. See, enough of all these casting blames. The blame game is not worth it. They will continually do this because they are thriving. And if we continually talk about a house divided against itself cannot survive, cannot stand. Look beyond your nostrils, Nigerians. Dangote is everything you have said he is. Fine. They've even submerged him, sabotaged him today. They say his fuel is contaminated, is impure. Dangote is rice, his sugar, his cement, is everything. Fine, we know these things. Don't bring it to the fore again. We are the ones suffering. How do we speak truth to power and say, okay, we don't want to suffer any longer. This is who we are. This is what we want. Fix our refineries. Leave Dangote refineries, or better still, NNPC come and buy it and let us have a working refinery, if possible refineries that will alleviate the suffering of the masses. Everything that has gone up today has to do with fuel inflation, fuel high cost. What do? Let's solve the problem and stop casting blames, please.
Thank you very much for calling. Please, I want to ask you a question. If cement is cheaper in Ghana compared to Nigeria, will you as a producer prefer to sell in Ghana rather than in Nigeria? What is the exchange rate of the two countries? You say your name is Megida Omakoji Simon, listening from Eket, Akwa Ibom State. Thank you very much for calling. Fortunately, we have to wait for the fight between the elephants to continue in order for me to nearly attempt to cite an answer that I would be presenting to you. Manny is here on WhatsApp. What beats me is why the president, who is the petroleum minister, is not interested in our local refineries. He hasn't talked about them, shows no interest in them, hasn't left Asorok to visit or inspect any of the NNPCL refineries undergoing refurbishment. It is befuddling. It is possible, or is it possible, he has interest in foreign refineries that supply fuel to Nigeria? This is Manny leaving us with a question that maybe should inform another aspect of the conversation. He says the president, who is the petroleum minister, is not interested in our local refineries. He doesn't talk about them, hasn't even gone to inspect them. He doesn't visit the refineries undergoing refurbishment. According to him, it is befuddling. Is it possible he has interest in foreign refineries that supply fuel to Nigeria? Behold, I do not have the answers. Nigeria Info, you're on the sunny side. We're talking. Hello. If you're home, Nigeria Info, you're on the sunny side. Thank you very much for calling.
Hello, Jess. Good afternoon.
Thank you very much for calling. Go ahead.
Yes, I'm sorry to say you.
What's your name?
My name is Mazude.
Good.
All these shouting, people are shouting, talking. Government are not hearing it. Why I'm saying it is that everybody know how government formed in Nigeria. All this cabal we're talking about, they are the people that put in government, they sponsor any government. So the solution I want Nigerians to be talking about how Nigeria will get a party that the cabal doesn't sponsor. You understand? We need to form that party. Form it by ourselves so that we can be free from these people talking about it. Any government that goes in for now is the cabal that installed that government. And it must serve them. It must do whatever they want it to do. Let us face that truth. All right. How are we going to solve the problem is what I want us to be talking about. Not what is happening, because there's what people say when you're talking, any quote here, you're talking about the new one, old one. The new one does the put in immediately. So it's not solve the problem. We keep talking. Well, we're going to talk it about again, 2000 and maybe 27 or what.
Thank you.
You understand? As we'll be talking since. So let us know that we will form our own party to do it. These people, they cannot do it all because they're sponsored with cabal.
99.3 Nigeria Info, the sunny side. This is Joyce. How is Dangote monopolistic? If our 4 refineries are working efficiently, who will be talking about monopoly? In Texas alone, there are 32 functional oil refineries. So how can anybody talk about monopoly in the U.S.? This is Timothy from Miami asking a question of which I know the listeners do not have answers to. And that's a very, somehow, rhetorical question that appears to answer itself. If Dangote is monopolistic, what has the government done to ensure that there are more refineries not owned or controlled or influenced by the masterminds or sponsors of Dangote, or maybe who are equal competitors in the petroleum sector? These are questions you have to chew on. You're listening to Nigeria Info. Well, you're on the sunny side. Good afternoon to you. Thank you very much for joining the conversation.
Yeah, good afternoon. My name is Ewa.
Thank you, Ewa, for calling.
I'll tell you boldly that the importers of fuel, of these petroleum products, and the tank farm owners are the cabal behind this thing.
So,
if that Dangote refinery or the Port Harcourt refinery begins to work, automatically those people have become jobless. They are really fighting all of these things just to keep themselves, sustain their evil plot against Nigeria. So the tank farm owners and the petroleum importers are behind these blows this man is receiving. They have no dream for this country. And by the grace of God, they are just there to squeeze out daylight from Nigerians, in as much as their own stomach can be filled. That is all I know. And I will tell you, anybody can challenge me any day, and I will tell you, if they kick off those people out of business, you will see all of this infiltration. That's the truth. Have a blessed day.
Thank you very much for calling 99.3 Nigeria Info, the sunny side. You see, this conversation is so necessary, and I'm so glad Nigeria Info is bringing it to your hearing so that you can decide if you stand, where do you stand? Hello, the sunny side. My name's Joyce.
Yes, good afternoon.
Thank you very much for calling. It's good to have you. Tell us your name.
This is GNK. Yeah.
Thank you very much for calling.
Yeah, my point is this. We don't have leaders that have political will to take decisions for us. And the reason is this. We have not voted our leaders by ourselves. Joyce, let me tell you the fact. If you, as Joyce, enter into any office through backyard, those people that assisted you to enter through that backyard, you will be afraid of them. There are some decisions that you will not be able to take because they are the one that carried you and put you inside that place. So for that reason, you will not be able to take some drastic actions. So until Nigerians are being the one voting their leaders, especially when it comes to those top ones by ourselves, my sister, the political wheels are not there. Now look at this refinery. If we will have a leader that can say, from now to this moment, this Port Harcourt refinery, this Sososo refinery will work. With political will, they will shut down all this. If it is my husband, he said many people have made a very, very big investment on this tank farm and everything. That because of those things, they will not allow our Nigerian refinery to work. So do we have leaders that said it must work? Because my citizens have to buy fuel at 10 naira, 20 naira, 30 naira.
I want you to answer that question. Do we have leaders that must insist that it would work? Do you think
No, we don't have it.
Thank you very much for calling then. I do appreciate. If you say we don't have it, I wonder why you would say make a statement in a positive notation when you know we don't have it. The sunny side. How are you?
Hello.
Thank you for calling.
Thank you very much. My name is Isa Mustafa from Alabado.
I have a minute with you.
Thank you very much. You see, it is not Dangote the problem of Nigeria, but the foreign hostile policy of the United States that causes all this problem for us. They don't want us to produce locally. That is the reason why they make the local refinery unfunctionable, and they will private own. We also not to be allowed again. So the only solution to this problem is for us to demonstrate our fundamental Nigerian economy rise. It's not the way they will respect us. They don't respect anybody. That is what Donald Trump told the multinational state leaders. America is only for American interest. But our people do surrender to our leader. Surrender to the interest of the United States. That is why we find ourselves in that situation. We should not blame anyone for the hostile foreign policy of the United States. God bless to Nigeria.
Thank you very much for calling. This one goes, where is the Petroleum Industry Act? I thought it was supposed to address everything concerning that sector. We just pass laws. They only enforce them when it has to do with the poor, or even when they want to witch hunt each other. I can almost bet that Dangote is not willing to play ball, which is why all these is coming up. The moment they tidy all gray areas, I bet you they will be chopping and cleaning mouth. And we will be here anything. We will not hear anything. Okay, well, it's 2 p.m. on the clock. I guess you're probably therefore grateful that there is a fallout between who and who versus who. And I thought it was necessary to bring it on Radioactive this very beautiful Monday afternoon on Nigeria Info. And I can tell many callers on the telephone lines and even on read messages. We're going to try to run our eyes and hands and some time through it. We'll be right back. It's 2 p.m. on the clock. Next is the headlines.
It's 2 o'clock. The headline news on 99.3. 99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.